you got me. What you hear?
Hello everyone, how are you guys doing? Welcome to episode 167 of SF Live. My name's Ben Hartley with Style and Story Creative Six Figure Photography, and it's Q&A Friday. It's Friday, you guys. Happy Friday to you all. Q&A Friday is a really great time because I get to interact with you guys on a level that we normally don't do quite as often. Look, if this is your first time joining SF Live, say hi, especially if this is your first time joining live. Say hi. I know a lot of people get a chance to rewatch the recordings, but I love having the opportunity to hear who's here live for the first time. The entire purpose, the entire reason I make these videos is to show up on the other end of this thing and to show you guys that there's another person out there who's putting in the work. Like I told you guys yesterday that I was going to be here at 11 a.m. It's 11:30 right now. I'm a half hour late. I want to apologize about that. But here's the deal, you guys. I'm a half hour late because I had a client of mine shoot out and say, yo, we need this picture ASAP. Can you help us out? Can you hook us up? And I had to do that first. You guys have to understand, actually, we're running a full-time photography studio here. That's literally, I mean, that's it. That's our gig. That's our job. I do these videos every day for you guys to help you guys out, to help you grow your business. Not just grow your business, by the way, but to help you grow yourself. So much of this, so much of the success that you're going to experience in life isn't going to be about understanding how to do off-camera lighting, isn't going to be about, how do you get a better SEO program. A lot of it's going to be about how do you understand how to provide value to people? How do you understand how to understand your how to understand your own self-worth, right? And so much of this is actually building into you guys. It's also for myself too. A lot of the shit I say out here, I'm really saying it because I need to hear it. I need to build into myself. I need to remind myself these things all the time. That's why I do this for you guys, and so I appreciate you guys being here. With Q&A Friday, the way that this works is I want to have the opportunity to talk to you guys, to answer questions, to field questions live on the spot. I love being put on the spot. It's challenging. It's fun. I've gotten a ton of questions that have hit my inbox ahead of time, right? And so I'm going to address some of those if live questions don't come in, but I will always prioritize live questions. This day's been getting interesting because not only did I have to push this episode back a half hour when I got in today to help a client out, my phone is dead. I have a half hour drive to the office here. My iPhone's dead, and for some reason, all of the iPhone chargers are mysteriously disappeared in the office. And so hopefully I can view your questions here on the laptop as they come in live, the comments come in. And so let's do a little test here. Let's see what's going on. Let's minimize this and see what's up here. Oh, good. I can see questions come through. Okay, awesome. Jonathan's here. Christina's here. Rob's here. Cody, Carlene, Rebecca, Mackenzie. You guys, thanks for checking in. Thanks for saying hi. I appreciate you guys being here. It looks like I can see comments. So let's just jump right in and let's see what's going on in your guys' world. I see that my brother-in-law is here. Tyler, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Glad you're here. James, okay, sweet. Let's start working up. Okay, cool. Cody says, word, I love the intro. Gives me enough time to tune in and not miss any golden nuggets of wisdom. Cody, thank you so much for saying that, man. The reason I make this intro the way that I've done it, the 30-second intro, is to buy you guys some time, to allow Facebook to notify you guys, for you guys to get that little notification and to see if you can clear up your schedule enough to tune in for a minute. So I'm glad it's working out for you. Mackenzie's excited. Rebecca, good morning. First time, Carlene, thank you. I'm glad you're here for the first time, Carlene. Full-time photography studio dreams, that's what's up. Rob said, started watching all of your videos. It's cool to see you grow and the quality improve. Rob, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the encouragement. Hi, Christina. Jonathan Rudeboots, my brother-in-law, says, can I shoot a wedding from my iPhone? I'm pretty good with an iPhone. Jonathan, technically you could. I don't recommend it. Gremlins. Looks so good. Okay, love the energy. Awesome, you guys. We're going to jump in. Here's the deal. Drop questions in live. I'm going to go to those. In the meantime, I'm going to be taking a look at some of the other questions that have hit my inbox, and we're going to start there. Let's jump right in on this one. This one was pretty cool, and the gentleman, he posted it down in the comments below, but he also sent me an email about it, and so I want to make sure that we talk about this one first today. This one came from Jared. Jared says this: the challenge that I'm currently facing as a photographer is getting clients and leads and then providing them with an amazing experience after the session, right? providing them with the amazing experience after the session. He says he's leaning towards prints now. He's leaning towards actually providing prints, not just shoot and burn, not just shoot and share, not just online delivery. And he literally does not know where to start. He wants to give his clients an amazing experience afterwards. He wants to give them prints, but he doesn't know where to start. He says this, he says, I have Pixie Set and it's linked to White House Custom Color. It's a professional print lab where his clients can order from, but he feels like he's losing the personal touch. And with that being said, he may be losing getting further referrals from that client because he's not fully delivering on the experience. Jared, thank you for asking the question. Jared, thank you for reaching out. This is a question that so many photographers have. And this is something that I've talked about a couple episodes ago. I was talking about shoot proof, and I kind of discussed this briefly because I've been in the same situation as you, Jared. I've been in the situation where I've wanted to do more for my clients, but I really struggled because of time, because of energy, because of, look, for many of us, we're not full-time. We're working a full-time job. We're working a 9 to 5. We've got kids. We've got our husband, our wife. We're trying to make this thing grow. And so we're wanting to give an amazing experience to our clients, and yet to actually deliver on print feels so overwhelming. We don't know how we're going to order prints, how we're going to ship and deliver prints, how we're going to make sure that our clients receive those images, how we're actually going to sell those prints to our clients. And that whole idea feels a little daunting. And yet you're right, Jared. That is so much of the experience. That is so much of the process of serving your clients. And so I understand this pickle that you're in. By the way, the pickle that you're in regards to shoot and share, in regards to Pixie Set, past shoot proof. Shoot proof is where we're at. We're at shoot proof. In regards to online file delivery, they're not mutually exclusive. You can still make sure that your clients have print. You can make sure that you're actually serving your clients with in-person sales, doing pre-designs on wall art, pre-designs on album, and supplementing this with something like shoot proof as an online file delivery, and making sure that not just your clients have prints, but trying to maximize your revenue with reaching the guests, the family, everyone else who's connected to that lead that you may not realistically be able to do in-person sales with, right? And so, man, let's start talking about this, Jared. What do you do? You're leaning towards prints now and literally don't know where to start. Okay, one of the first things that you're gonna wanna do, if you're wanting to start offering prints to your clients, the first thing that you're gonna need to do, you guys have to do this. If you wanna start offering prints to your clients, you have to have first bought prints for yourself. You cannot understand this. You guys cannot sell something that you have not bought yourself. You cannot go out there and sell albums and sell canvases and sell wall art if you haven't recognized the value in your own life and put up the money in your own life. It's going to be really hard to feel convicted and to feel like you can actually convince someone of the value. If they look at you and they say, well, have you done it? Have you spent $1,000 on an album? Have you spent $500 on a canvas for your home? And if you have this internal guilt of like, man, that feels like a lot of money to charge someone and you haven't done it yourself, that's why. And so first off, we've got to buy in. We've got to buy in 100% that we actually believe that prints prints matter, that prints are important, that prints have a significant purpose in your business. And so step one, Jared, is go and make prints in your own life. Go and make an album of the last 6 months, of the last year, or an album of your girlfriend or in your relationship or your boyfriend or your marriage or your honeymoon, or an album of your own wedding because you didn't get one from your photographer because you told them that you would do it and then you never did. Go make an album of the last little trip up to the lake house or something, right? But make an album, make wall art, hire a photographer, right? Invest into the thing that you're trying to get people to invest in. That's step one. Produce a print of your own life. And look, if that's it, if you're going to make sample, you need samples. You need something that you actually can show someone before you can sell it. If you can only afford one piece of sample artwork, make it for yourself. Make that piece of sample artwork one that's of your own family, of your own life. Because rather than talking about features, rather than talking about the thick pages and the giclée print and the leather-bound material, rather than talking about that, you're going to talk about stories. You're going to talk about your daughter or your wife looking through these pictures. You're going to talk about your parents coming over for Easter this weekend and getting nosy and opening up the album that sat out. And you're actually going to have stories to tell. You guys, if you want to sell prints, start understanding the stories that will appear in your own life when you have it on your in your own world. So start doing that, Jared. The next thing is this. You need to start making sure that it's included in some way in every package. You need to make sure that every single person that comes through your door gets print. You need it. This is a branding concern, right? This is a branding issue. Your brand, Jared, should be known as the brand that actually you leave with something real. You leave with physical. And yeah, they can leave with digital. You can have both. They can have digital, but man, they also, when they come to you, when they hire you, look, when people hire Style and Story Creative, I won't photograph a wedding unless they walk away with an album. I won't do it. I refuse to do it. And so every single person will get an album. And so you're going to make sure that every person gets that, which means you're going to need to start carving out some time to meet with people, to design for them, to actually present to them. Like, this is like, dude, Jared, we could spend a day talking about the entire process. And so I'm trying to give you a couple nuggets here. Make print for yourself. Prioritize print to make sure that every single person gets it. This means making sure that it's a present on your website, on your brand. There should be a tab that talks about albums, that talks about wall art. When you do first looks, you should be taking pictures of these prints. You should be taking pictures of these albums and posting them up on Facebook when a new order comes through. You should be doing that. Goodness. In terms of how you can use online galleries, when those clients come in to receive their artwork, when they come in to design their album with you, when they come in to design the piece of artwork that's going to go on their home, before they leave, you have the opportunity to say, look, here's, your, when you go home, look, I'm talking about weddings particularly right now too. When you go home, here's a link where you're going to be able to view all your gallery for this week. With ShootProof, we've gone ahead and we've made things 20% off, free shipping, 10% off, whatever you need to do, want to do. You got to know your numbers on that. And you can give them that link where they can go and they can order those prints online. They can order the 4x6s, the 8x10s, the gift prints. Man, this is like a whole strategy. There's a whole lot that goes with this. Jared, this has been a mouthful. Step one is order prints for yourself. Make prints for yourself. That's step one. See why prints matter. See the benefit in your own life. But let's keep this conversation going, Jared. But that's step one for you, man. All right, let's keep seeing what's going on here. Righty. Who else is here? James Min says, I stashed an iPhone cables everywhere and they still, right, James? iPhone cables always disappear. And if the cable doesn't disappear, it's that little brick. It's that little white square brick that disappears. It's one or the other. Maykel is here. Rebecca says, how do you feel about offering all-day wedding coverage? Or do you stick with set hours in your packages? What a great question, Rebecca. I've done it both. I've done all things. I've done full-day coverage. I've done various things. Here's the deal. We started out with full-day coverage. And we no longer do that. We no longer do it for a couple reasons. Here's why. I would rather give a gift rather than an expectation, because for many photographers, the reason that you're doing full day coverage is because you want to, right? The reason you're doing full day coverage is you're like, man, I've already given up my whole Saturday. I want to be there. I want to get every possible picture. I want to be there early in the morning so I'm not stressed out, so I'm not rushing around trying to get the detail shots. I want to be there late in the evening, doing the end of the night. For a lot of photographers who've got that passion, they got that drive, they got that hustle, they recognize the fact that they should be working, they need to be working, they need to be building their portfolio, they need to be practicing. For that photographer, full day coverage makes so much sense in your brain, right? And if that's your motivation, if that's your reason for doing it, I love it. But let me give you an idea here that says you can still do that. You can still do that. But now you're giving a gift, not an expectation. Let me explain. What happens when you do full day coverage is this. For starters, it can tend to lead to clients not valuing that time because it's unlimited. It is what it is. And so you may find yourself being asked to arrive at a wedding at 6:30 in the morning, right? And you may ask to be staying until 2 a.m. And what's going to happen is this, you're going to get to a night, and you've all been there, right? If you photographed a wedding, you're going to get to a night where it's 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. hits, the dance floor has been going for 2 hours with 2 people on it because it's just not that type of way. And things are chill. And it's 10 o'clock and you've already annoyed everyone on the dance floor and you've already shot everything and everyone's leaving. And so you did unlimited coverage. And so you go up to the bride, you go up to the groom and you say this, hey, this has been amazing, hasn't it? I've had so much fun on your wedding day. Look, is there anything else that you'd like for me to capture before I leave? And they might look at you. First off, they might look at you and they might say, "Thank you so much," and they may send you on your way, and that's great. But they may look at you and they might say, "Really, you're gonna head out, man? I guess I thought we had you for a full day. The reception goes for another hour. There's an after party." They might not say that, but they might be thinking it. And that the reality is, even if they don't say it, the fact that it could happen, that they could be thinking, "I thought I had you for a full day. I thought that's what I paid for, and you want to leave now?" The fact that that can happen, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be undercutting in any way. I don't want to be under-delivering in any way, because I've said I'm there for a limited time. I don't want to even give the person that I'm serving that kind of thought process. I don't want it to enter their mind. And so what happens is, I'd much rather do this. I'd much rather offer a collection that maybe has 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever it may be. Let's say it's a 10-hour collection, a 10-hour day that has a dollar amount put on it. You guys, let's say it's a 10-hour day and it's $300, $500 more an hour. Look, I'm just throwing out numbers right now. Let's go with the $500 one, right? Let's say for 2 photographers, it's $500 an hour. It's a 10-hour day. For starters, I already know I'm going to be giving them more. I already know that I'm going to be staying late. Right? I already know that when 10 o'clock hits, let's turn this on its head. 10 o'clock hits, it's a 10-hour day, and my time's officially up. I'm going to go up to the bride and I'm going to say, "I'm having an amazing time. And I want to stay for another hour or 2 hours. Can I do that for you? Can I give you that? Like, I want to get a few more shots." You guys, what's going to end up happening is when you start giving gifts like that, it has value. It has actual value to it. That was now a $500 gift that I was able to give that bride. I was able to say, "Hey, I want to stay longer." You guys, get this in your head. Because I've been there. I was the photographer who I wanted to stay for myself. But now when I do that, now when I stay for myself and I tell the bride, "Hey, I want to stay later. I want to do an extra thing." And by the way, we tell our couples usually before the wedding. I'll tell my bride, well before the wedding, "Hey, I want to give you some extra time on the day. I want to give you 2 more hours of time on the day because I want to get amazing. I don't want you to stress," right? And then furthermore, on the day itself, if I want to, if I feel the need to, I can give her more time. You guys, give gifts. Right? And so, look, I love at this point now in our career where we have a dollar amount to it, because now when I give that gift, I'm no longer shortchanging the bride. I'm no longer stepping away early. Now I'm staying late and I'm giving something that has a monetary value to it. And so that's why I love doing that. The second reason is this: it does help you direct a lead. It does help you direct someone to the collection that you want to get them to, right? It helps you to get somebody into this ideal collection. And when I say to get somebody into an ideal collection for them, but also an ideal collection for you, because if you're doing your job right, if you're doing your business right, if you're running your show right, you're going to know your numbers. You're going to know how many weddings you need to book and the average amount that you need to book them in, which means you're going to know the average dollar amount that you need someone to spend with you. You're going to have an actual funnel that you're moving somebody to. You may have 4 collections, but you know the package that you need to get them to for your own sustainability, right? For your family, for your team, for your children, for your wife, for your husband. You know what you need to do to live. And so when you start having collections that maybe start at 6 hours and then 8 hours and then 10 hours, that 10-hour time is the ideal time. That 10-hour time is the collection that you want someone to book to. And so you can help to move somebody into the collection, into the package that you need to book for your own life, but also the collection then that'll have all the goods that client really wants and they really need. And so that's another reason why I like to do it. When everything is full day coverage, when everything is a level playing field, it's harder to move people into a direction where I need to book them at. That was a long answer, but that's why we do it. It's a really good question, Rebecca. All right, cool. Let's keep going. Cody says this: "I just wanted to throw some gratitude your way." Thanks, Cody. "I asked last week about the print quality of a canvas I was ordering for a client. I fixed the issue I was having thanks to your advice, and it looks gorgeous. Thank you so much." Cody, you rock, man. Thanks for expressing that to me, dude. I appreciate it. Jonathan, yes, my dad is here. James Min says this: "Printing is a rabbit hole. All the paper choices out there, but I find it one of my favorite aspects of this whole thing." James, you're totally right. Look, this goes back to the original question from Jared. Jared's lost. Jared wants to start doing print. James, you just gave another really good piece of advice. It is a rabbit hole. There are so many possibilities of what you could print. On the things that you could, like, we could be out there like offering mouse pads to our clients, right? We could go all the way back to like 1998 and be like, "Would you like a custom mouse pad?" Like we could be printing on so many things: wood, acrylic, metal, canvas, 4x4s, like it's ridiculous. We could print on so many things. And so, James, I love that you've identified the things that you want to sell. My recommendation, going back to Jared, is come up with, 3 product lines, right? 3 things that you want to print. 3 things that you want to see in your home. 3 things that are in line with your brand. Focus in on that. Dude, people will be paralyzed by so many options. Just like right now, Jared, you have been paralyzed with so many options. If you're paralyzed, your clients will be. And so you need to identify the 3 things that you value, that you can tell stories around, right? That you want to see in your own home. 3 things that are in line with your brand, right? Awesome. James says this, printing is emotional, it's feeling, it's giving. Awesome. James, I like you, man. Brian says this, great points. When I'm talking to clients about prints, I bring up my own experiences from my own weddings. No idea where my CD is, for my own wedding. No idea where my CD is, but I see canvases every single day. Brian, that's awesome, man. Glad you're doing this. Tom. Hey, Tom. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to try to say his name. Forgive me if I botch it. Please give me some grace here. I'm going to say Teja. Teja, help me out. I apologize if I butchered that. Teja says this, when reaching out to other businesses to offer photography services, such as headshots, such as product shots, etc., what is the best way to approach them? I don't have really any experience in headshots, product shots, etc. Should I offer my services for free? I'm wanting to get into the local community more so that I can get my name out there, and thought this could be a good idea. What are your thoughts? So this is a really good question. Look, I think it sounds like you're wanting to go the direction of headshots, right? So business was the best way to approach that. I don't really have any experience in headshots, product shots. Okay, so it sounds like that's what you want to do. And so look, we need to talk about something real quick here. So I'm a wedding photographer, and one of the things that I've talked a lot about is assembling a dream team, of providing value to people first before you ask for value in return. There's people out there that already have your audience. They already have your target client. They've already put in the work, and if you can figure out a way to partner with them to give value to them, you can help to, or you can really pull from that audience. You can pull from their client base. And so one of the things that I need to talk about here is that too often we sacrifice the long-term win for a short-term gain, right? I see this happen all the time. All the time. I've seen this. Let me figure out how to tell this story without dropping names here. I've seen in my own industry people, they won't do a headshot they'll do this. Let's say there's a wedding planner in town. I'm a wedding photographer. There's a wedding planner in town. I've seen other wedding photographers who will only do the headshot for that planner, who will only do corporate headshots for the venue that they want to photograph at for a dollar amount, right? Let's say it's $1,000. Hey, I'll do them. I'll do them for you for $1,000. And you're taking that short-term gain. You're taking that $1,000 gain for the long-term win of building relationship, partnership, for building reciprocation. You guys realize when you start giving to people that they're going to feel deep down inside, we have a need to give back to people. And so, look, Teja, if you don't have anyone, if you're new, if you've never done headshots, if you have no leads, if you got no clients, if you got no experience, you got no portfolio, then what are you going to do? Sit on your hands? Right? What are you going to do? Charge them $500, $1,000, $300? You need to get out there. You need to work. You need to build relationships. And yes, there's going to be someone who's going to be thinking right now, not me. That's $500. That's $300. That's $800. And they're short-term losers. They're short-term losers. And so look, recognize that you need to start building relationships, start giving, start practicing, but also don't stay there, especially if it's the space that you're in, right? You're doing headshots and you're wanting to be in the headshot game, right? And so do that. Start building, start giving, start building, start giving, and then start to transition quickly. Start increasing your prices, start charging. But for me, I'm not in the headshot game, right? That's not where I'm trying to build my wealth. That's not where I'm trying to build my business. I'm in the wedding photography game, right? And so whenever, look, you come to me as a vendor, I'll shoot your headshots. I'll do new portfolio pictures for your website. I'll come photograph your space all day long, right? I'm going to give, because I'm not looking for an extra $1,000. I'm not looking for an extra $500. I'm looking for you to send me five $5,000 brides this year, right? Don't sacrifice the long-term game for some lame-ass short-term $500 win. Don't do it. But anyhow, Teja, go do that stuff. Go give, go build. But because you want to be in that business, because you actually do need to turn headshots into income, don't get comfortable. Don't stay there. Don't get scared that if you start raising your prices, no, it's okay. Raise your prices, start charging, but start building relationship. You guys don't understand. Look, we're always thinking about ROI. What's the return on investment? What's the return on investment of that 2 hours that I just gave that vendor? You know, what am I going to get back? Right? Stop thinking like that. It's really hard to put an ROI on having someone in your corner locally in this business. It's really hard to put an ROI on someone who's going to start telling people about your name. It's really hard to start valuing that. Okay, awesome. Scott says, hey, Ben, your new setup looks great. Thanks, dude. Do you do a reveal and order session album design after an engagement and bridal session? Scott, we've been asked this a couple times before. Currently, Scott, we do not. Currently, Scott, when someone comes in, we do their engagement pictures. We do not right now. And that's not because it's the right thing, by the way, Scott. Understand that, okay? I think if we were to start doing it, we would be serving our people better, and we'd also be making more profit. Right now, the reason we don't, it's twofold. To be quite honest, with everything that I've got going on right now in my world, I own a photo booth company, a commercial videography company, a wedding photography company, and I do these videos for you guys every damn day. I've got a wife, I got a baby, and I got twins on the way. And so it's been a choice to not do it from a time standpoint, recognizing that if I did make time for it, I think we would make more money. I think it would be great. I would actually encourage you to do it. Also, though, our engagement sessions, they're not cheap. So a lot of people out there, they're doing engagement shoots for $200, $300, $400, $500. We're doing them for around $1,400. And so I also feel like I am making what I would like to make, from that moment, from that encounter, with my clients. And so I think that if you are in the camp where you're doing more of a session fee of like a $200 session fee, a $300 or $400 session fee, that you need to start figuring out a way to get your the revenue up from that. So that's my answer, Scott. I think you could. I think you could. I think you should. I think the people that are doing it are doing something really great with it. And so it's one of the things that I think we will eventually down the road. I think we'll keep getting better and we'll keep finessing and moving forward. And we will do that. But right now we're not. Thanks, Scott. Matt says this, what's your thought on using standalone software like Tave and Shootproof versus all the ones in like Sprout Studio? Matt, great question. For starters, I've got a lot of great things to say about Sprout Studio. Brian Caparici over there is doing really great stuff. That being said, I'm not a personal user of Sprout Studio, and so I can't attest too much for it. Look, what's the phrase? There's 100 ways to boil an egg or cook a potato. I don't know. What's the phrase? There's 100 ways to skin a cat. That's what it is. There is. There's a lot of different things out there. There's a lot of things out there. I think one of the advantages that I would say the reason why we've gone the route of, let's say, Tave for CRM, Shootproof for client delivery is because they're smaller companies. They tend to be quicker. Right? They tend to be quicker to adjust, quicker to adapt to change, quicker to release out things. I'm not saying that's necessarily true. I don't use Sprout, and I know Brian, and I know that he's always improving and always innovating. And so I don't know if that's true with Sprout, but just generally I've liked to go the direction of do one thing, do it really, really well. So that's why I've gone that route. That being said, man, there's a lot of people who love that software. I think this is just one of those things. It's a personal preference. Depends how you want to do things. Man, Shootproof has really increased our sales. It's done some amazing stuff because of the integration that they have, and because Shootproof is a company based around making sure that you're extending your print revenue. They actually don't focus in on digital delivery. Shootproof, while they do digital delivery, is designed to increase your print sales beyond the bride and groom and reaching guests and family and friends. And so that's why I love Shootproof. Yeah, man, there's a lot of different ways to do it. And so I think you got to do in that situation what you're really jiving with. James says, Canson, Platine, Okay, cool. James is just dropping paper ideas. Awesome, James. Okay, Taja says totally. Okay, thanks for clarifying, Taja. She says totally not wanting to do headshots, and I'm more of a portrait photographer and want to get into weddings. Right now, I'm mostly taking photos of families and couples. I just live in a pretty small town, and I want to gain those relationships. Then perfect, even better. Go and do it for free. You better believe. Look, I don't just stop at headshots. When we reach out to a vendor, I say, look, how can I serve you? Before I ask anything, before I ask to get on your referral list, before I even suggest that you send some images my way, I want to know, how can I better serve your leads? How can I better serve your clients if we work together? What are the things that kind of bug you about photographers locally? How can I make sure that that doesn't happen with us? Next up, let me do some new headshots for you. Look, let me update your website for you. Let me make a new video for you. Let me make a new about video for you. Let's start brainstorming. Let's start dropping some serious value right your way. And so, dude, yes, absolutely. Taja, you start giving. Don't think short term. You could charge $500. There's photographers out there who are charging them the money. And that's great. You go get your $500. I'll win in the long term. Okay, cool. Oh, and my name is pronounced like the continent Asia with a T, Tasia. And dude, thank you so much, Tasia. I'm terrible sometimes with names. So, okay, cool. Ryan Gandy's here. Hey, Ryan. Ryan, congratulations on your new little one. My goodness, so freaking rad. So rad. Okay, Ryan says, dude, I love the new look. I've been a little busy the past week, so this is the first time I've seen it. Ryan, you have been busy. I'm so excited for you. Matt says this, thanks. Also, how is the X-T2 treating you? The X-T2 is a Fuji camera. For those of you who do not know, it's a new Fuji body. Matt says, I'm renting one right now, and it's been great. What lenses are you using for it? Matt, and everyone else, we've switched. We've gone away from SLRs. We're now in a mirrorless system. The Fuji X-T2 is what we're shooting full weddings on. Matt, we have gone with the Fuji X-T2. We've gone with the 23 millimeter f2. I'm giving you the actual focal length, not the full frame equivalent. So we've gone with the 23 millimeter f2. We've gone with the 35 f2, the 90 f2.8 I think it is, and then the wide zoom. I don't even know what it is. I don't have it around me right now. Whatever the zoom is, the f4 10 to like 24 zoom or whatever. So that's what we're up to, Matt. We love it. It's great. It's sweet. It takes pictures just like all of your SLRs do. Look, it's been fantastic, man. We freaking love it. The files that come out of it, the sharpness that comes out of it, the dynamic range that comes out of it, the ability to push your ISO. It's really, really awesome. So we're loving it, man. We sold everything. We're all in on it. Okay, cool. Let me see what other questions hit the inbox. By the way, you guys, I'm going to have to go here real soon. I'm going to have to go in about 10 minutes. I've got a podcast interview today with Natalie Frank. Natalie Frank is, she's heading up with the Rising Tide Society. She's got an online conference coming up here at the end of April called the Rise Summit. You guys should be checking out. But she's going to be on the podcast, and so I've got to step away and do an interview with Natalie Frank for the podcast. If you guys have any questions for her, feel free to let me know, and I can forward them on to her. But I got to bust soon enough here. Okay, cool. Let's keep talking here. Ooh, here we go. This is a great one that hit my inbox. I had a photographer message me, and they said this. Andrea. Andre. It's always hard with names. Andre says this. I've given the knot.com $1,250 this year. I got 40 inquiries from it. 40 people reached out to my brand from that $1,200, and I got 0 bookings. All of the clients that reached out, they seemed like budget clients who didn't want to pay top dollar for my service. I'm pretty exhausted, and I'm pretty discouraged. Should I get off the knot? That sucks. Let's talk about this because look, we all get that email. We all get that phone call from like Carrie at the Knot or Martha over at weddingwire.com. And I just wanted to follow up about your local listing, right? You've all gotten that phone call or that email. Let's talk about this. For starters, we need to understand this. Wedding Wire and the Knot, they're incredibly specific to your local region. It's hard for me to give a blanket statement. I can't say the Knot sucks. I can't say Wedding Wire sucks because it might not. It might not for your area. It might not for Cleveland, Ohio. It might not, for Chicago. I don't know. It might. And so first off, start talking with the community photographers around you to get their perception of how things are going within those spaces. The next thing is this. My next question that I would have for you, Andre, is this. Out of those 40 leads who messaged you, who emailed you from the knot, how many of them did you email back? And how many of them did you pick up the damn phone and call? How many of them did you actually get the opportunity to explain your value through relationship and through asking questions? Or how many of them did you just simply email your prices and your packages and a bunch of bullshit bullet points? How many? Because I've got this gut feeling that you emailed all 40 of them. And all 40 of them, they looked at your bullet points and they compared your bullet points to some other schmucks photographer's bullet points. And they're like, this guy's cheaper. Okay. And so we have to start understanding, how do we provide value to leads? How do we start building relationship and care for leads? How do we differentiate ourselves? How do we separate ourselves from everyone else who is undercutting us? The answer is never cost. The answer is never dollars. The answer is always service. It's picking up the phone and being a voice, of being a person who's actually going to care about them, who's actually going to care about their story, care about the images that they care about, more than the person who's going to email over the template bullet point email, right? And so I think that's a huge thing. I think we need to start figuring out and start gaining some courage here and start picking up the phone and connecting with people and calling people and separating ourselves. Look, if you want to get a bride, I've said this so many times, if you want to have a bride, trust you on the most important day of their life to not just click the shutter, to not just take some pics, but to tell their story, to capture their memories, to hold their memories. Not just for them, but for their kids and their kids. If you want to get someone to trust you with that responsibility, it requires far greater personal finesse than an email. Let's start talking cost. If you want to get someone, people look at me, they're like, Ben, how do you get a bride to spend $7,000, $10,000, $15,000 with you for a wedding? How do you get them to do that? Well, for starters, it requires far greater personal finesse than sending out an email. It requires far more giving a shit than sending out an email. If you want to be in business next year, you better stop sending out emails and you better start picking up the phone. Real talk. All right. Real talk. You guys, I got to go because I got to hop on with this podcast with Natalie Frank. Drop some other comments below. If there's any other questions that I did not get to in the live comments, I'll hop on a little bit later today and respond to those. You guys, real quick, understand this. I've got twin boys that are going to be here any day now. Right? I've committed to make these videos for you guys Monday through Friday. And so I'm going to ask right now for some grace. We're going to see what happens. When these boys come, the shit's going to hit the fan. Things are going to get crazy. It's going to get weird. And so maybe it's not going to be 1 p.m. EST every day for these live videos. Maybe it'll be 3 a.m. and I'm going to have a baby in my hands crying. Maybe I won't be able to do these quite as much for the next little while. But we'll see. We'll see. I want to make these videos for you guys, but I need your encouragement. I need your support. It might not be every day. It might not be at the same time every day, but I'm going to try to show up for you guys. But just know this, when these twins come, they're my priority. And so I appreciate you guys. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you for caring for your people around you. That's it. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you on Monday, episode 168. Coming live to you guys Monday. Thank you. Bye.